What do you call a teenager whose jersey was retired before he even left high school? Meet Jude Bellingham. Hey, I'm Garrett, feeling pumped today to talk about this football prodigy.
And I'm Leah, equally thrilled to kick off this episode of Laid Back Learning with Leah and Garrett.
Today's topic is Jude Bellingham, the young football star redefining the game from midfield to the spotlight at Real Madrid and with England.
Picture this. I'm watching highlights of Birmingham City in 2019, and there's this kid, Jude Bellingham, wearing number 22, looking totally unfazed. He had just become their youngest first-team player, and then on his home debut against Stoke City, he pops up with the winner. I remember thinking, this teenager looks like he has been here before, like he knows the rhythm of a senior match already. The poise was unreal, the touches were clean, and the decision-making had this calm heartbeat to it.
Let's dive right in. Jude Victor William Bellingham is an English midfielder for Real Madrid and the England national team. Born in 2003 in the West Midlands, he rose from Birmingham City's academy to Borussia Dortmund and then to Real Madrid for a base fee of about €103 million, rising with add-ons. In his first season in Spain, he became Madrid's top league scorer, and Madrid won La Liga and the Champions League. He took La Liga Player of the Season too. That's a rocket launch, right?
Totally. And what I love is that he's not just a scorer. He has that complete midfielder vibe people talk about. Think ball winning, carrying the ball through pressure, and then final third quality. Analysts have called him a do-it-all player. Under Carlo Ancelotti, who is Real Madrid's veteran manager, he shifted higher up the pitch as a number 10 or even a false 9 at times. Quick definition for anyone. A number 10 is a creative attacking midfielder who operates behind the striker. A false 9 is a forward who drops into midfield to link play rather than just camping in the box. Jude does those roles with power and grace.
His roots matter here too. His dad, Mark Bellingham, was a West Midlands police sergeant and a prolific non-league goal scorer. That combo of discipline and an eye for goal seems to have rubbed off. Jude also has Irish heritage through his father and Kenyan heritage through his mother, Denise. He grew up in the West Midlands, went to Priory School in Edgbaston, and later completed a B.Tech Level 3 in sport at Loughborough College, while his career was already moving fast. That balance of school and sport says a lot about his mindset.
An early England involvement came quickly. He captained youth teams, then became the youngest England under-21 player in 2020, and by 17 years and 136 days, he had a senior England cap. On the big stages, he has real moments. World Cup 2022, first England goal against Iran. Euro 2024, that overhead kick in the 95th minute versus Slovakia to save the match. That's clutch, which just means he performs when the pressure spikes.
All right, let's roll on to the journey. He starts at Birmingham City's academy and makes his first team debut at 16 in August 2019 in the EFL Cup. Then a few weeks later, he scores the winner on his home league debut against Stoke City and becomes the club's youngest scorer. That early impact was wild. Wild how that worked out.
Soon after, he starts regularly, shows he can handle multiple midfield roles, and by November 2019, he's named EFL Young Player of the Month. For clarity, the EFL is the English Football League, one tier below the Premier League, and that recognition for a teenager is huge.
Then January 2020 comes. Birmingham reportedly turns down a £20 million bid from Manchester United. That's a big what if, but we'll circle back later. The season pauses for the pandemic. He finishes with more than 40 appearances, and Birmingham avoids relegation.
Here's the extraordinary part. Birmingham retire his number 22 shirt in July 2020. Retiring a number means no one else at the club will wear it. Doing that for a 17-year-old after one senior season is almost unheard of. The club said it was to honor his influence and inspire academy kids that age is not a barrier.
He chooses Borussia Dortmund next, confirmed that July. Dortmund in Germany have a track record of trusting elite teenagers with real minutes. The initial fee made him the most expensive 17-year-old ever, He wanted a youth-first pathway and Champions League exposure. That's a savvy career call.
He scores on his Dortmund debut in the DFB Pokal, which is Germany's main cup competition. Days later, he assists in his Bundesliga debut and wins Rookie of the Month. Within weeks, he becomes the youngest Englishman to start a Champions League match. That's the top European club tournament, and he stepped into it like he belonged.
Next up, the middle stretch of his Dortmund story. He overcomes a minor foot injury in early 2021, scores his first Bundesliga goal in April, and then scores against Manchester City in a Champions League quarterfinal. Even though Dortmund went out, that goal told everyone he could swing big games.
He starts in the DFB Pokal final in May 2021, and Dortmund win the trophy. By the end of that season, teammates across the league vote him newcomer of the season. Peer voting like that is meaningful because opponents remember the guy who gave them problems.
He keeps pushing. In the 2022 to 2023 season, he becomes Bundesliga Player of the Season as Dortmund push the title race to the last day. He finishes the campaign with standout numbers and a leadership presence, even as a young player.
Then the awards start snowballing. He wins the Golden Boy and the Copa Trophy in 2023. Quick definitions. Golden Boy is a major European award for the best under-21 player in top divisions. The Copa Trophy is a Ballon d'Or partner award voted by former winners for the best under-21 player worldwide. He becomes the first Englishman to win the Copa. That's a statement.
Summer 2023, Real Madrid sign him on a 6-year deal. Base fee around €103 million, add-ons take it higher. He arrives at the Bernabeu, which is Madrid's iconic stadium, and immediately starts scoring in La Liga, Spain's top division.
And we should note the tactical shift. Under Ancelotti, he plays a high number 10 or second striker style role. That freedom lets him time late runs into the box, link play, and finish chances. That's why his goals explode. Okay, why does moving a midfielder higher up the pitch boost goals so much? I get the logic, but walk me through the simple version.
Simple version. If you start closer to the penalty area, you have less distance to travel, more time facing goal, and more second ball moments to pounce on. When the ball ricochets or a pass slips through, a high midfielder arrives with momentum. Bellingham used that timing constantly. It is like woodworking with the right jig in place. You remove friction and get repeatable results. End of the Madrid fact run. He scores on his La Liga debut in August 2023, then keeps stacking goals. He equals Cristiano Ronaldo's mark of 10 goals in his first 10 Madrid matches. That is rare air for a midfielder.
El Clasico moments too. That is Real Madrid versus Barcelona, the sport's biggest club rivalry. In October 2023, he scores twice, including a stoppage time winner at Barcelona. In April 2024, he scores a late winner again. By April 2024, he becomes Madrid's top-scoring English player ever, surpassing Laurie Cunningham and David Beckham, both English icons who start at Madrid.
He does this while managing a left shoulder dislocation from November 2023. He came back with heavy strapping and still scored and assisted versus Cadiz. That is pain management plus elite focus.
By May 2024, he finishes as Madrid's top league scorer with 19 goals and 6 assists. Madrid win La Liga, and he's La Liga Player of the Season. Then they win the Champions League in June, and he assists Vinicius Junior's goal in the final against his former club, Dortmund. He is named Champions League Young Player of the Season, posting over 90% passing in Europe. That is surgical precision under pressure.
He keeps racking up recognition, third in the 2024 Ballon d'Or and third in the Best FIFA Men's Player Awards, and he makes the FIFPro World 11 3 years running, which is a lineup voted on by fellow pros. Peers do not hand that out lightly.
And internationally, Euro 2024 was a highlight reel. He scores the winner versus Serbia in the opener, pulls off that overhead kick against Slovakia, plays 120 minutes in the quarterfinal, and helps in the build-up to the equalizer in the final against Spain. England finish runners-up. The resilience under tournament stress really shows. Here's where it gets really interesting. The 2021 Der Klassiker controversy. That is Dortmund versus Bayern Munich, Germany's biggest league fixture. After a heated match, Bellingham criticized referee Felix Zweier, who is a German official with a past link to a 2005 scandal. The German federation, called the DFB, fined Bellingham €40,000. The question is, should players publicly call out referees like that?
I think measured public criticism can be part of the game's evolution. Football already uses VAR, the video assistant referee system, to reduce errors. Honest feedback, even when blunt, can push transparency. If a player feels something is off, voicing it can spark review. That said, tone matters. You want the message without personal attacks, but players are stakeholders and their experiences should be heard.
I hear that, but I lean toward decorum. Referees have to make split-second decisions under massive pressure. Public shots from star players can inflame things and undermine trust. There are formal channels to raise concerns. Real talk. When emotions run hot, words land hard. Protecting that baseline respect allows the system to improve without turning into open season on officials.
So maybe the balance is structured accountability. Players can question decisions, but within codes that avoid getting personal. In Spain, we saw something related in 2024 and 2025 with dissent incidents. Panels looked at wording and intent, grading it as disrespectful versus abusive. That nuance is useful. It keeps free expression while setting guardrails.
Agreed. The game evolves on two tracks: better tools like VAR and clearer communication protocols, and then cultural norms that emphasize respectful challenge. Bellingham is passionate. Channeling that passion through the right pathways might be the model going forward.
On a different note, his reach goes beyond the pitch. He fronted a major Lucozade campaign, appeared in a Skims feature, and became an EA Sports FC cover star. That is a signal that he is not just a footballer, but a cultural figure, which, shapes how younger fans see the modern midfielder.
Add in a signature Adidas collection and being named a friend of the house by Louis Vuitton. That crossover into style and lifestyle means more people encounter his story, not just match watchers. It mirrors a broader trend where athletes build identities that live in sport and in culture.
All right, counterfactual time. What if Birmingham City had accepted Manchester United's bid in January 2020? I think his trajectory could have been different. At United, even with top coaching, the pressure cooker is immediate. Dortmund gave him guaranteed minutes in the Bundesliga and the Champions League at 17, which is rare. That platform to learn by doing, with patient development, likely accelerated his all-around profile. Without that runway, maybe he plays fewer central minutes, maybe more cameos, and the timing of his evolution could shift by a season or two.
I can see that. At Manchester United, the tactical asks might have shaped him differently too. Maybe he stays deeper more often, focusing on build-up rather than becoming that high, goal-facing midfielder so quickly. If he is not pushed into that advanced role early, maybe the explosion of goals at Real Madrid in 2023 to 2024 does not arrive on the same timeline. Different environments teach different habits. Dortmund's message was basically, here are the keys, go drive. That is unique at 17.
And there is the human layer. Moving to Germany required independence, new language, new culture, new teammates. That probably grew his leadership and composure. It is like urban exploration for the soul. Off the beaten path builds resilience. You later cash in when the Bernabeu roars and the clock hits 90.
So, whichever timeline you pick, the core traits are there, but the Dortmund choice feels like the catalyst. It matched his ambition with responsibility. And when Madrid called, the foundation was already built to handle the weight of that shirt.
Stay curious, folks, and keep exploring the fascinating stories behind the headlines.
Thanks for joining us on Laid Back Learning with Leah and Garrett. Until next time.